Pixel Gun 3D worth it in 2026? Well, to answer this question, we need to look past the blocky graphics and analyze if this legendary decade-old shooter has finally reached its breaking point. Some things to note before deleting or reinstalling the game. Today, we are looking at these 6 factors that are either keeping this game alive or actively ending it, all the way from the pay-to-win nature of the game to the technical chaos of the cross-platform player advantages. I've analyzed the game against 6 major criteria to see if the original charm is still there or if the game has officially become a shell of its former self. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video because the recent Pixel Gun 2 leaks might change your mind about the original game entirely. But with that all said and done, let's get right into it. Hello all of my viewers. So the way I'm going to rank this game is on a 5-star system. 5 being the best and 1 being the worst, obviously. And at the end of the video, we'll get the average of all the scores to finally answer the age-old question. Is Pixel Gun 3D still worth it in 2026? Alright, kicking things off with category number 1, the bot count. If you played a match recently and felt like a god, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably just bullying a shit ton of bots. Let me explain. In 2026, PG3D has a massive ghost town problem. To hide the fact that the player base is now split between mobile and PC, the devs are using bots to fill in the gaps. And the numbers are actually insane. In your average casual lobby, you're looking at 60 to 80% bots most of the time. And then during peak hours, there's usually at least 2 bots per team, just so that they can cut the wait time of the matches down. But here's the thing, this will actually change depending on your current level. You see, from levels 1 through 10, you're in bot heaven. It's pretty much 100% AIs used to make you feel like you're amazing at the game, so you don't lose interest or get frustrated and quit too early. From levels 10 to 30, this is where things get cut in half, and your lobbies are now around 50% human to bot ratio, which if you ask me is still ridiculous. Now at level 65. Once you hit max level, you're now in the sweats category, where you have 90% of players being human and around 10% of them being bots. The bots at this level are also designed to be way harder to beat and carry mythical gear just to keep up with the real players. And if you did want to confirm this for yourself, all the bots have this sort of shaky movement and strafe like they're having glitches or something like that. And they also have those generic bot names that are super easy to spot. Now for the rating. I'm inclined to give this problem a 2 out of 5 stars. On one hand, the bots do keep the queue times fast and the newer players interested enough without them rage quitting the game, which is great. But they do kill the competitiveness of the game. Especially at the higher levels, it's hard to feel like a pro when half of your kill streak didn't even put up a fight. It can also make the whole experience feel like more of a single player game instead of the multiplayer you signed up for. Remember how I said the devs use bots to hide the split between PC and mobile? Well, that leads us right into category number 2, the cross-platform advantage. In 2026, if you're a mobile player, you're out here playing on hardcore. Meanwhile, the PC guy can 3-cat spam with 0 effort, hitting every shot with pixel-perfect precision while flying through the air. The movement gap is even worse. On a touchscreen, it's physically impossible to match the flick aiming and instant weapon swapping of anybody using a mouse and keyboard. You'll be in a duel, and before you can even swipe your screen to turn around, the PC player already swat through 3 different weapons and pretty much deleted you from existence. Now, while the devs claim the aim assist for mobile players makes it a fair fight, let's be real. It does jack shit when your opponent is moving around at Mach fuck and switching guns faster than the game can even play the sound effects. And this problem has created such a massive gap where the PC player just becomes the predators and the mobile players become prey for them to kill. It basically creates a massive gap in skill and prevents people with the established accounts that they've been using forever that they want to use on PC from being brought over. Basically telling the OG players that have spent years playing the game that if they want to keep all their stuff, they gotta suck it up and play on mobile or bite the bullet and create a brand new account on PC. But there is still one way around this, which is actually the way I used to play back in the day, which was to connect my Xbox controller to my phone to almost entirely kill the skill gap between PC and mobile, which is why at the end of the day, even though yes, this may be bad, it's still nowhere nearly as game destroying some of the other categories that are coming up next, which is why this one will be in the middle at a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Now for category number 3, the nostalgia. Now, let's be real. This is usually the only reason anyone over the age of 18 even thinks about reinstalling the game, and I'll give credit where it's due. The devs know exactly how to pull at our heartstrings. For example, in 2026, they just dropped this massive OG season that brought back the absolute classics. I'm talking Dangerous Roads, Ants Life, the Coliseum, and seeing these maps in the rotation again actually hits different. It takes you right back to 2014. Simpler times sitting on your bed after school, grinding away your childhood for that awesome new gun. Even the lobby music got that iconic vibe that makes you feel like a kid again. They even started bringing back the old black outlines of the weapons to make them look more classic, so to speak. And I even see them pushing out these ads that I keep getting on my For You page on Instagram talking about how many memories this game has for my generation. I mean, just watch this and tell me that you don't feel somewhat nostalgic and that it doesn't make you feel like reinstalling the game almost immediately. But here's where the nostalgia trap gets you. You'll reinstall the game, load Pool Party thinking you're about to have a blast, only to get instantly deleted by some guy flying around in Mach fuck with a mythical manual destroyer or some futuristic ass laser that didn't exist back in the day. That's the problem with nostalgia in PG 3D. The look is definitely there, but the feel is gone. The OG weapons we used to love, like the Exterminator or the anti-hero rifle, are now so ass, it feels like bringing a plastic sword to a gunfight. And unless you're willing to open your wallet like a good little boy to upgrade the ever-loving shit out of your childhood favorites, you don't stand a chance. Honestly, the maps and the new OG events are actually pretty fun for the weekend trip down memory lane, but at the end of the day, you can't live in the past. So once that initial hit of nostalgia wears off, you're left realizing that the game you used to love no longer exists anymore. But for me personally, the nostalgia feeling is definitely worth it, even if it's short lived. That's why I'm unapologetically going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next up, we have category number 4, pay to win. Now, if the bots didn't already ruin it for you, I think this one will. Let's be real, in 2026, PG3D isn't just a grindy game anymore, it's a full on wallet warfare. The devs like to pretend you can compete as a free to play player, but unless you're willing to treat this game like a 9 to 5 job, you're basically easy pickings. Now, what I'm talking about is not only the gems, but the lottery side of the game. These things are more rigged than your local casino. You'll spend hours grinding for keys only for the super chest to give you a bunch of literal shit. It's designed this way to make you give up and fork over your credit card for that $100 ultimate set. $100. It's a kid's game. Like, shit should not be this expensive. And the worst part is, it works. You see so many people just pay to win, and that leaves the rest of the community, the people with actual lives, jobs, families, that are just trying to have fun and play the game for free, to lose about 90% of the damn time. It is statistically impossible for a free-to-play player to ever have the same odds as the guy who dropped $100 on a set that gives him lifesteal, area damage, and a jetpack all in one. Your skills don't even matter anymore. That's why this category gets a whopping 1 out of 5 stars. It's no longer a game of skill, it's just a game of whose daddy has more money on their credit card. Now, if you thought the pay to win players were bad, think again, because we are now at category 5, the cheaters. This is where the irony kicks in. In 2026, the cheating problem is so bad that the pay to win players, the guys who actually spent 100 of their real dollars on their gear, are starting to look like the free to play players compared to these hackers. Imagine dropping a day's worth of money on a mythical set only to get sniped through a wall by some kid using a free script he found on Discord. Ever since the PC version became the main way to play, the hacks have gone so out of hand. We're not just talking about aimbot anymore. I'm talking about God mode, infinite invisibility, infinite in-game currency. And while you're out here grinding your life away or opening your wallet like a good boy for 500 gems, These cheaters are literally just spawning millions into their accounts for $0. They have every single gun, every skin, maxed out modules, and they didn't even pay a cent. It creates this toxic cycle where the pay to win players can't beat the cheaters and the free to play players can't even touch any of them. Now, the devs claim that they're doing something about this with these ban waves every single update, but the problem with that is it's a free game, so these cheaters are just able to make a new account and continue like nothing happened. So for my rating, this gets a flat 0 out of 5 stars. This is the lowest rating yet, and for good reason. When someone can get for free what you either had to work or pay for, the whole system of the game just falls apart and feels like a giant waste of time. Last but certainly not least, we have the biggest category of them all, Pixel Gun 2's release date. It's officially happening. The rumors are not just rumors anymore. Cubic Games finally came out and confirmed that a full-blown sequel will be dropping on Steam and mobile this year, and from what we've seen so far, it looks like they actually might have listened to us. They're promising a complete overhaul of shooter mechanics, better anti-cheat, fucking god damn it, I'm filming a video. Better anti-cheat and a skill-driven economy. That means we aren't getting a giant cash grab of a game anymore. Thank God. It's going to be built on a brand new engine, which means most of the bugs and glitches will be a thing of the past, but that's not even the best part. They've confirmed that your stats and your account will be saved and are able to be used cross-platform. Of course, this doesn't give PG3D a better score, but it does mean that if you start on mobile, you will no longer need to restart if you want to switch over to PC. People are even saying that this is what's going to end PG3D for good. And honestly, they're probably right. I mean, why would anyone stay in these bot-filled, hacker-infested lobbies when a fresh, polished version of the game is right around the corner? Which is why I decided to give PG2 a perfect score of 5 out of 5 stars. Why? Because it's the reset button that the community has been needing for a long time. It's the chance to finally fix PG3D's reputation. Now, whether or not it actually lives up to the hype remains to be seen. But just the idea of Pixel Gun 2 is enough to keep this franchise alive for one more year, which might end up being all it needs. So, when you take the average of all the scores, we're left with a final rating of 2.3 out of 5 stars for Pixel Gun 3D. Now, looking at that score, you're probably thinking something along the lines of, this game's an absolute shithole. Well, it's more complicated than that. If you're a new player looking for a balanced competitive shooter where your skill actually matters, do not touch this. With all the problems we just discussed, you'll be throwing your phone across the room in a fit of rage within a week. But if you're an OG player who just wants that nostalgia of seeing Ant's life one more time, then yeah, I'd say it's definitely worth the reinstall. You'll just have to go into it knowing that the game you're playing isn't what it used to be, and to just have fun reminiscing about the good old days. Or maybe you're just counting down the days for Pixel Gun 2's release. In that case, I'd also recommend reinstalling the game as a sort of final goodbye to the classic that you played during your childhood. But hey, remember this is just my opinion and you have the free will to do whatever the fuck you want. Anyways, let me know down in the comments, are you guys going to be reinstalling the game or waiting until the sequel comes out? And as always, that's it. Bye.